Hey everybody, this video is going to be the battle of the Planars under 200 bucks. Um, there are obviously other Planars on the market. I listened to some. Some I haven't reviewed, some I have. Uh, so this is by no means an end all be all Planar shootout review. Okay, this is just strictly my thoughts on stuff that I've listened to recently. And these two little guys over here, the Tape Pros, which are the first planars before the S12s, I think. I haven't been paying attention. There might have been some in between there, but who knows? The So we've got the Shure and the new Letshouer, the rename on their business, I think after they got bought, and then the KZs over here, the PR1 and the PR1 Pro. So let's start by just talking about all of them real quick. The tapes came out a couple years ago, the Tape Pros. A lot of people were really talking about these and blowing them up. They have really good detail and treble. Mids are pretty okay too, and you can kind of tune them. They got a little screw thing you take in and out and swap a filter out. The problem with me, or the problem I had with them, was they had no bass. It's there, like you hear it, and maybe it's even correct. I don't know, but you just don't feel it, and you don't really get that bass sensation that you're looking for, at least that I look for. So for me, I had kind of a problem with them in that, and I never really pulled them out and listened to them. Now, what I will say is that I listened to them with a couple of tube amps, and they did sound really good. There was a device I had for a short time, and you could flip it back and forth to a tube section. It was a DAP with a. You guys might remember I did a video on it. I can't even remember the name of that thing now, but it was okay. But when I flipped it to the tube section, and I played these on it, the two of those things together sounded fantastic. I really enjoyed it. But if it says anything about these, over the 2 years I've had them, I probably listened to them twice since then. I did pull them out to compare against everything else just for this video, but I really don't listen to them. They don't do anything to make me want to listen to them, I guess you could say. So let's just say they rank over here. They are in the correct position for where they should be. And we'll say that this is last and this is first of what I would want to get. Now, the Letshouer 12S came out, and excellent. Had a lot of what this one had. Honestly, not as clear as these, and the treble is not as good as these. I think the treble is better on the Tape Pros, but it's a little bit grainy on the S12. At least the ones that I have, there was grain up there at the top end. Not on everything, but on some songs. Okay. Oh, my camera's moving. Sorry. Settle down for a sec. The bass on these and the mids is where they really worked on them. The bass is pretty excellent on these. It gave me that rumbly feeling, like I was listening to speakers. That's not common for IEMs, especially in this price range. So that, and the bass was good. It wasn't just big and bloated and like that's all you hear. It fit well. It played well with the mids. It played well at the upper end. There was some bloat on some songs I heard where I felt like the bass was kind of overrunning things. I think there was a Baden Powell song I listened to that definitely there was some bloat in there, and it made it sound a little unrealistic according to the way I listened to it. And look, let's be realistic here and honest. I'm not a sound engineer in a studio as the artist is recording this, and I'm hearing exactly what's coming through the microphone, and then tuning it like the sound producer would have me do it, right? I'm not that guy. You're not that guy. No one reviewing stuff is that guy. So all of us are doing this subjectively based on what we hear and how we interpret it. And every one of us, our ears are a little bit different than each other, and our brains trained a little bit differently. And so what I hear may not be what you hear. And that's why I talk about songs when I'm talking about these things, so that you kind of know what it is I'm hearing. But for me, sorry, went off on a tangent. These are a little bit bloated, but the bass is still good. But again, there was graininess in the upper end on mine, on the set that I have. PR1 Pro. I could hear a little bit of tingy metal sound in some of the upper end, like in treble and guitars, which in that sense played well, except that treble sometimes sounded a little splashy, like a hissing sound instead of a solid, like if a jazz, I like jazz a lot, and if a jazz drummer is playing on the cymbal with that wire brush, there's a specific way that it sounds. These would sound like they're just kind of hissing, not the detail of it. The detail was there, but it sounded like it was hissing. It wasn't producing it the way I think it should produce it, the way I would want it to be produced, the way I've heard it produced on other IEMs that I feel are much better. So, but these were still very good. The pros, the KZ PR1 Pro, that hiss was gone and the treble was much, much better. Bass was much, much better. Mids are better. You know what? Mids almost the same. Bass better, treble better. Little more clarity on these. Not huge. When I say better, don't think it's like, this much better. It's more like, this much better, right? It's not a lot. It's better, but not a lot. But the nice thing is about these that I said over the PR1s is these came with this really nice kind of fancy cable. Now, this cable doesn't compare to the Shure. The Shure cable is by far one of the nicest cables in this price category that I've seen. It's a beautiful cable, no doubt about it. And it comes balanced. I think I ordered these with the 4.4 and these with the 2.5. So, but these are $150, $149. These are $80 and $89. Yeah, $149, $149, $80, and $89. That was what was paid. Now, where do these all fit? These are way over here. They just are. I don't really like even listening to them. They only play well certain things. Sure, they got a ton of detail, and if that's all you care about, then go buy these. Other than that, they're not something I would mess with. Now, between these, this is tough between these two right here. They both get a little grainy. These ones have a little bit of a metallic sound on the upper end. These ones just seem a little bit grainy, not really metallic. But the bass on these is better. The bass is better than these. If you like rock and roll, these are here. Okay? If you like heavy hitting songs, that's these guys. Okay? For sure. If you like vocals, maybe some jazz stuff with horns and things, I think these are a little bit better. Or you know what? Maybe just the same, kind of the same, really. But if I had to pick between these two, for some stupid reason, I would probably pick these just because they play so well in the bass, which I really liked about them. And I didn't have that kind of tinny grain that I got on these. Now, where do they sit with these? Well, they're in the right position. For rock and roll, these have a better bass, but not by much. There's a song by Bastille. There's this album, Bastille, All This Bad Blood. Honestly, I like it. It's not one of my favorite albums, but there's some things about it that I like to use it because with different equipment, different IEMs, headphones, that kind of thing, it really brings out the songs on that album differently. And I can't explain it to you. I don't really know why. Like those FiiO Audio Monarchs sound fantastic with that album. My Kinera Nanas, it's okay. It's not that great. So I pull it out. I like to because it's kind of a marker for me. If I like listening to it, then the IEMs are probably pretty decent. If I don't like listening to it, then maybe not. Pulling it out on these right here, I didn't really like it. It was very bassy and in my face, but it sounded really good and really what I don't want to use the word correct, but I don't know if that's the right word. It just sounded really good. Like the bass was tight and it was where it should be. The upper end was there, the detail was there, and I had a lot of fun listening with these, with the PR1 Pros. I'll just say PR1 Pros. I had a lot of fun listening with these more than these. Like I kept listening to the album song after song with these. With these, I was testing and then switching to something else. But I kept listening with these because I really enjoyed the way they sound. These delivered to me the kind of fun, exciting feeling I got listening to that as I did with the Monarchs, the FiiO Audio Monarchs. And if we move on to other songs, same thing. Now, some upper end on some songs, there was still a little bit of let's say metallic sound, but very, very slight. The timbre overall was just fantastic. And I I really enjoyed these. I'm kind of going on a little bit about it. I guess I'm just so surprised at $89 to hear what I heard on these. These were better at $149 than these. At $89, they were better than the $149 ones. Better than these $149 ones for sure. Now, when I say better, again, it's pretty close. But definitely, I like these better. I do like rock and roll, and I do like heavy bass. These have more than enough bass to make all the rock I listen to sound good. These have that boom, boom, heavy bass, so I can see where these would come in. But it's only once in a while that I'm really in the mood for that. I'm much more usually listening to vocals and jazz and some other rock and roll. So these would be the ones. So I think out of these three, and I know these are older, and I don't even know. I think you can still buy these, but I wouldn't buy them. They're not worth it at all. These, for $80 are great headphones. Okay, these are, like I said, they're really close. But if you want to have something that's kind of an all-rounder, where you've also got really good bass, I feel like these are the better choice over these, but just like slightly, not a lot. They're very close. But I think, again, these are also better than the 12s, and again, it's very close. I just like the detail retrieval and the realism of the detail on these, like bongos and snare drums and things like that. There was an album I listened to, and I swear to God, it felt like my head was in the drum set, right? Because I could hear all this detail in the drums. Who was that? I want to say Bethany, but not Bethany. Let me look for her, and I'll tell you the song. You can go listen to it. All right, so there's this artist, and I don't know if I'm saying it right. It's Methany Meheldau. Mehdau. I'll try to remember to put a link in the details of this video for you to look at. She's a jazz artist, plays saxophone, I believe. I think she plays piano too, but her style and the way they record is very interesting. I wouldn't typically just sit there and listen to it for hours. It's not my favorite, but it's as if every single instrument that's in her band has some super high-end mic right up on top of it, and they've got all the gain turned up. You hear every little thing. In the piano, you can hear the pedals moving, the hammers hitting the strings, the fingers tapping the keys. You can hear fingers sliding on guitars. The horns are just incredible, and it's very separated. Like it's not compressed. It's not like all the instruments playing together. Like the horn plays, and then the piano, and then the drum. It's kind of weird. You have to hear it to really understand what I'm saying. But it's as if everything is so separated. So for listening to detail, that's a really great song. And with these things, I felt like my head was stuck inside the drum set. Right, I could hear everything going on. And I really enjoyed it, man. I really enjoyed it. So these for me are a winner because of that. So overall, these guys, these are the ones that I would take. And I think just the fact that they're just as good, maybe a little better than the Letshouer S12 makes them the clear winner, because these are 149 and these are 89. These have a nice cable. These have a better cable. But so what? It's still fine. The cable's fine that comes with these. It's very good. It's a cable you might buy on your own if you wanted to upgrade later. So that's kind of cool. So these guys are the winner of this little shootout, and you can kind of take that to the bank. I'm serious. I paid for these with my own money, and they are staying in my stable. All right. Hope this video helps you guys making decisions, and good luck, and have a great day. Bye.